Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder. Today, Digi Power X Inc. DGXX just filed a prospectus supplement, and I'm seeing a significant expansion in their stock offering. Quick note, this is not financial advice, just my take on public filings for educational purposes. They are raising a lot more money than initially planned, and we need to understand what that means for shareholders and the company's future. So Digi Power X Inc., a company in the independent power producers space, has filed this Form 8K report. This is like a public announcement for important events that happen between their regular financial reports. Think of it as a company giving the public a heads up on something big. The main news here is about a so-called the market offering. Basically, the company is selling its shares directly to the public over time. What is interesting is that they announced they are upsizing this offering. This means they plan to sell more of their stock than they originally intended. This filing confirms that on May 8, 2026, Digi Power X Inc. announced they are increasing the amount of stock they plan to offer. This is often done when there is strong demand for the stock or when the company sees a good opportunity to raise capital. Digi Power X Inc. has filed a prospectus supplement. This is a legal document that details the terms of the securities being offered to the public. This supplement is part of a larger registration statement they previously filed. This allows them to sell up to an aggregate of $175 million of their common stock shares. What is really noteworthy is that this is an increase from a previous $75 million offering, of which a significant portion, $72,363,650, had already been sold. This shows the company is actively raising capital and has been successful in selling a large chunk of its shares. When a company decides to sell more shares, it can do a couple of things. First, it raises money for the company, which can be used for growth, paying down debt, or other business needs for Digi Power X Inc. With its recent news about a major AI campus securing a big client, this capital could be crucial for expanding its infrastructure or developing new projects. However, it also means more shares are out there in the market. If the number of shares increases significantly without a corresponding increase in the company's value or profits, it can dilute the ownership stake of existing shareholders. Think of it like cutting a pizza into more slices. Each slice becomes smaller. So for every share you own now, there will be more shares in total, and your percentage of ownership in the company will be smaller. We see Digi Power X Inc. is classified as an emerging growth company. This means they have certain regulatory advantages and can use longer transition periods for adopting new accounting standards. This is common for newer or smaller public companies. Their subordinate voting shares are traded on the Nasdaq Stock Market LLC under the symbol DGXX. Seeing their shares on a major exchange like Nasdaq is a positive sign for liquidity and accessibility for investors. The filing includes exhibits that support the information provided. We see a legal opinion from MLT Icons LLP concerning the validity of these shares. This is a standard piece of documentation to assure investors that the shares being offered are legitimate. Looking at the broader context for Digi Power X Inc., they operate in the utilities independent power producers sector. Their market cap is around $483 million, and they have a lean team of just 17 employees. Recent headlines suggest significant positive momentum. There is news about a 40 megawatt AI campus securing a substantial $1.1 billion. 10. Year customer, which is a massive deal for a company of this size. Another headline indicates Digi Power X Inc. stock is soaring, with some analysts questioning if there is further upside left. There is also buzz about a potential $2.5 billion deal that could tie Digi Power X Inc. to a Cerebra's IPO. These developments suggest strong underlying business activity and investor interest. The institutional holders list shows that while some firms have significant stakes, none dominate entirely. Venlight Capital Management LP holds about 2.4%, Jane Street Group LLC holds 2.0%, and Davidson Kempner Capital Management LP holds 1.7%. This distribution might indicate a healthy level of diverse institutional investment. Now, what does this enlarged offering really mean? Traditionally, when companies like this, especially those in the growth phase, significantly increase their stock offerings, it can signal a few things. They might be aggressively funding ambitious expansion plans like the AI campus project mentioned in the news, or they could be preparing for a large acquisition or significant capital expenditure. Given the recent positive news, it is likely they are seizing an opportunity to fuel further growth with this capital infusion. However, as I mentioned, dilution is a key concern for existing shareholders. If you own shares in Digi Power X Inc., you should be aware that your percentage ownership of the company will decrease. The question is whether the money raised will generate enough future value to offset this dilution for shareholders. Historically, companies that use their capital effectively to drive substantial growth often reward shareholders in the long run, even with increased share counts. Think about how companies like Amazon or Tesla financed massive expansions early on, which eventually led to significant shareholder returns despite periods of dilution. My biggest concern is ensuring that this large capital raise translates into tangible, profitable growth and not just an increase in operating expenses. What I'm actually looking for is how aggressively they deploy this capital and the return on investment from these new projects. Oh, and the research tools I actually use for these filings are linked in the description. They help keep this channel going, that is my take. Stay decoded. If this analysis was valuable, hitting that like button really helps, and subscribe for more deep dives. Don't forget to check out the Discord in the description.